All right, here we go. Series 3 of our how to live stream your DJ set to AltspaceVR. And today is the final step. We're showing out how to do this green screen back here. And if you find this interesting, go ahead and give us the thumbs up down below. Subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a lot. And leave any comments below. I want to answer those questions for you. And today we are going to show you how to go from this to this. And this is what's going to bring things alive. And we're going to go through everything. Stay tuned. All right, so we used to have this situation. I would DJ at these parties, and this was kind of what my background looked like. It was very blah. I would try to put some lights on it, but it just didn't cut it. So it looked like I was in my garage, and I wanted to do something a little different than that. So right now we're gonna get set up, and I'm gonna show you all the things that I had to kind of do to get my garage set up to live DJ stream to AltspaceVR parties. And we're just gonna get up. I'm gonna show you all the different things that I kind of learned. I'm gonna set it up right now so you can see how it works, and I'll kind of explain every single piece that we have here so that you can kind of see that when we go from DJing on some of the tracks, right, and we have another track over here, that you can kind of get the idea that that we're DJing, and headphones here, and we have the camera on us. There's people out there that are in VR at the same time, so we're trying to interact with them. We've got our goggles right here going, so we'll be DJing like this, right? And it's gonna look a whole lot better when the green screen is up and working. So I'll just kind of tell you that it took me like 6 months to figure out all the different things I needed to do. I needed to get a camera that had a wide angle lens. There was this shot that I wanted to see where you could see the CD decks, you could see the DJ behind the decks, and the DJ would be able to like put their hands up anywhere. And not only that, but that we could have 2 DJs here and that there was enough space in here. And some of the things that I quickly learned is that you have to have enough physical space. So one of the things is that when you're looking at the space that you need to have a space that has, you should have about 6 to 8 feet between the subject, the DJ, and the green screen. Green screen is going to be lit by its own light, and then the camera needs to be another 8 feet away from the subject here. And then the width, as you can see, is about 16 feet right here. And I probably could have used another 2 feet going out that way, but I didn't want to move my refrigerator because that's where the beer is at, and I didn't want it too far away from me. I didn't have any other place to put it, is really what I would have moved it if I had the space, but it's in my garage. What am I gonna do? So, all right, and I'm gonna show you some of the things along the way as we go. Why don't I start off with the camera that I ended up using. This is the Zoom Q2N 4K, and the best thing about this camera is that it has a 150 degree wide angle lens on it. That's what made this camera work for me. There's other cameras out there, but this was a reasonably cost camera. I like the form factor. It's a real webcam, so it's made to be just running for hours and hours and hours, and fits on top of a tripod. Has a nice microphone built into it. You can change the wide angle or narrow angle lens on it. So that has, this camera took me a while to figure out which camera to get. I tried to use Logitech cameras, like the webcams, and they just didn't look good at all. So that's the webcam that I used, and I'll show you some of the lights here, but the next thing I'm going to show you is the fabric that we actually had to use. I'm going to show you the fabric, and I'm going to show you this paint color. So when you go to get a green screen, you're going to have to buy a green screen at some point in time. Fabric is a good way to go. As you can see here, what happened is that the fabric was not wide enough, and I just decided to paint the rest of it. So, and I'll show you the color. The color is super important. You can get it from Home Depot's where I got it. They made up the paint for me, and then I just painted this, and it worked out pretty good. So I'm gonna grab the fabric here. I'm gonna show you the two different kinds of fabric. Luckily, for you guys, I went out and I have two different kinds of green screen fabric that you can get. I got these I ordered them off of Amazon. Get as big as you can, because you can always make it smaller, but you can't make it bigger. This one is made of cotton, and I'm gonna use this to cover the square fridge. I wanna show you how you can cover furniture and it will disappear. And this one, as you can kind of see, it's cotton, and it gets all these wrinkles in it. So this was, I think this was only like maybe $12 for, it's like a sheet. It was just like a sheet. And I ended up, it just didn't look very good. So I got this other one that is more of it's a synthetic material, and it doesn't, it resists the wrinkles. As you can kind of see, it's very flat. The color is very flat. This is the color that it is. These two are a little bit of different color. I don't know if you can see the difference. You'll see it, but you can see the difference in the color, but the camera it doesn't matter. Those are close enough that you can easily green screen the stuff out. So I'm gonna get started here. I'm gonna get started on, what I did is I put hooks up in the corners here, and I believe this is 10 feet across here that I have, and we're gonna get this put up here. So I have this bar that's gonna go through. I'm just gonna hook it in there. So let's get going. Let's get the green screen up. Make sure to get the right side. It's kind of a sheen to one side and a real flat the side that we want out. So we want this to be as flat as possible. The color flat, nothing shiny. All right, so now we have a wrinkle-free green screen here. We have it all tight going this way, held it down with old hard drives. So if you have old rocks or hard drives or anything to keep the bottom down, that seemed to help a little bit. And now we're gonna cover this refrigerator, so that will disappear. And let's see, I use these neodymium magnets, super strong magnets, to cover this. So instead of having to tape this, I'm able to use this magnet. Okay. So as you can see here, I have a I believe this was a 10 foot by, I think it's 15 foot, and a 10 by 8 foot smaller one. So those are the two green screens I have. Plus I painted about 2 feet on this way, 2 feet on this side, and about 3 feet down that way, so I can get that wide angle. So let's talk about lighting the green screen. You'll see here that I'm going to turn these lights off. Let's see here. So without those lights on there, you can't really, it doesn't distinguish you from the green screen. And what I found worked really well are these LED panel lights. I have 4 of them, and I like them because they're skinny, so they don't end up in the shot, and they light up the green screen pretty well. So we take these, take them out of camera shot here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to light up all the green screen, and the lights should be behind me, so none of the light is shining on me. And we'll do these over here. Let's see it come on. So what you don't want to have happen is that you don't want the camera to be able to see the lights. I don't know if you can, and you don't want them really shining on you. Turn those a little bit. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4 LED lights, panel lights, or I think they call these panel lights, or they, I forgot the name of them, but they are LED panel lights. They're just skinny. They're black on the back side, and I have one to light up the top of the green screen, one to light up the bottom on the left, and on the right, same thing, 2 over there. Then I use my box lights for, so the other shots that we want to have is the hairline shot, or the hairline lighting on the hairline, and these are called box lights. So these diffuse the light real nicely. Lights. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights, plus 2 other small ones just adding in. Essentially, what I'm saying is that you need a lot of lights for this. So I think you need a combination of lights that spread the light out, and lights that light up the green screen that don't show up on the camera. So that's kind of my suggestion to you. And there's one thing I wanted to show you, which was to count the color of the paint here is, so here we go. I got this from Home Depot, and the color is called Gamma Sector. So that's the color it is. You can get them to mix it up and paint anything that isn't green. Paint it green, and it will disappear on video. All right, can you believe it? We got it all set up, and we look like pros when we are live streaming our DJ sets out to the world. And you know, if we'll just go through some of the things that I want you to remember out there is go get yourself a high quality green screen. Get it as big as you can, because you want to have that distance to jump around and move around and do all those things without your arms disappearing, which you'll see from time to time. You want to make sure you have the distance between you and the green screen and you and the camera. You want to use a camera with a fisheye lens to get that nice, cool look. You want to make sure your green screen is lit very well separately than the subject. You want to have your hairline light that lights up your hair to help define the green screen. And you want to have the lights facing the subject to have it nice and bright. And you know, that's kind of it. You're gonna have to play with this. There's all kinds of tools in OBS that allow you to add in chroma key. So that's it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed this 3 series parts about how to live stream your DJ set out to the world. This is a new fun thing that we're doing these days. And if you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe. Please like this video if you found it useful. And we'll see you next time with more fun stuff. Thank you.